Hello everyone, Happy New Year 2023 and welcome to a new episode of Brew with Memli. Over the vacation and the holidays, I've been brewing for a lot of people, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people at a time. And although I really love pour-overs for its cleanness and its transparency of flavors, I had to admit that French press was way easier when brewing for more than 1 or 2 people. Therefore, I looked into it and brew French press every day in order to find the optimal best recipe for our kind of coffee. So, what you're gonna need for this French press a la Memli coffee. You're gonna need a French press. Ideally, you want those stainless steel inox sort of French press that retain heat a little bit better. Then, we have some kind of ingredients. This way, you'll seem a little bit kind of easy to brew, but you keep your weirdness and your geekiness, right? Because sometimes when you brew pour over for friends and family, they think that you're crazy. At least that's what they do with me. But here you're gonna be half and half. The French press that everyone is aware of and some of your craziness. What you're gonna do, you are going to undo this filter, right? Something that we always say about French press, it's dirty, it has those little greediness. So we are going to undo the filter. That filter has 3 parts. A sort of plunger part, a mesh filter, and a bottom holder. Sorry. Between this one, you are going to sandwich this with 2 siphon filters. I know we cannot find some, you can find some siphon filters around there. If you can't, you can pack some AeroPress filter or slowly cut some V60s or Chemex filters. We all have filters. So you put one on the bottom. That is going to really give us slightly more cleanliness, you'll see. Then you are going to need coffee, of course. Here I'm using our Pacamara rum oak barrel anaerobic produced by Pilco Caja in Ecuador. One of my favorite coffee. Water that is sitting at 90 degrees C, about 195, 198, so a little bit colder than usual. A device to mix. I'm using here a YDT tool for our espresso friends, but you can also use some kind of stick. A carafe to decant your brew. 2 spoons to do this kind of scooping style, and a little bowl or something to put the grounds into into the bowl to remove the grounds. We're gonna start with a ratio of 1 to 12. Usually for 1 cup, I like using 20 grams of coffee for 250 grams of water. Now I'm going to double up because this is a big one and I'm going to drink it all. Don't worry, I won't waste it. But, so here I'm using 40 grams, I pre-ground 40 grams of coffee, and I'm going to use half a liter. The grind size, and that's what it's interesting, I'm not going super coarse like we do in classic French press. I just go like a large pour over. That's it. On my Ditting, I'm at number 9. On your Baratza, you'll be between 21, 22, 24. If you use a Comandante, somewhere around 30 to 32 clicks. So coarser than the classic pour over, but not that coarse, right? A little bit finer than the classic French press. Then, and here's the first difference, I'm gonna add my water first. It's something we do in Clever Dripper that works really well. And I was like, what am I using with French press? So I'm using my half liter, 500 grams. This is set at 90 degrees. And I'm gonna add my coffee, 40 grams here. And I'm gonna mix it with my YDT tool or any other thing. I just love this YDT tool, especially when we ground coarser. We still produce some fines, and those fines, they kind of attach themselves to the coarse coffee. All right, We're gonna let it sit like that for about a minute and a half. After a minute and a half, I'm gonna give another big stir and kind of a mix. And then I will let it steep a little bit longer. In the meantime, I can pre-rinse my filter. We always do that, right? So let's do it as well for this one. So pre-rinsing my filters. That was the kind of the best recipe I found to really minimize that grittiness in the texture and to still have a nice body, but I also wanted my brightness. I also wanted to drink a coffee that I will enjoy because I was making coffee for more people. I wasn't really like it. I didn't really like it. So at a minute and 30, let's do a kind of almost like a cupping 3 times. And I'm gonna agitate a little bit more. Here I'm not scared for over extraction. Why? Because I use colder temperature, 1, and 2, I'm not going to let it steep for too long. That's the classic 4 or 5 minutes. So at about 2 minutes and 50, we're just going to scoop anything that is floating on the top. All right, just make it clean. And at 3 minutes and 15 seconds, we start pressing. And you see that it's a little bit hard because of the paper filters. It's worth it. And then you slowly decant it. And you have a slightly cleaner color, as you can see. Yes, I can still see some, almost none actually. Well, still a little bit of solids, but way less than before. Oh, and it smells and tastes really, really good. There's nothing, as you can see, I don't know, I'm not sure if you can see, but not a lot of solids that pass through. It's really, you really have the quality of a pour-over with that really strong texture, but not the grittiness. That's what I wanted to avoid. The trick is to sandwich 2 filters between the metal filter rounds. I use siphon filters. Put the water first, then the coffee, stir at 1 minute 30, stir another time, let it steep at 245, scoop everything like a la James Hoffman, and then press like AeroPress because of the filter it creates some pressure. And that, my friends, is the best French press recipe. See you next time.